We have an amazing episode for you today, but first I want to tell you about Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast. Whether it's recording new podcast episodes, uploading existing episodes, editing, or more, Anchor gives you everything you need in one place to create your podcast from your computer or your phone and make it sound amazing. And the best part, it's free. Yes, Anchor is completely free. Anchor makes it easy to make money with a podcast without a minimum listenership, and will even distribute your podcast so it can be heard anywhere from Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and more. The podcast process has been so easy because of Anchor, and I couldn't have asked for a better experience right off the bat. I'm recommending Anchor to all of my listeners who are wanting to start a podcast. Be sure to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started building your own podcast today. My name is Kristen Kubik, and you're listening to As Told Unfiltered, the podcast that dives deep into what it's really like running a business. The raw, the real, and the completely unfiltered. Hello, beautiful people! Welcome to As Told Unfiltered, the podcast where I basically sit here and tell you all the stuff nobody else is going to tell you about running a business. I'm your host, Kristen Kubik. So, for those of you who don't know a lot about me, I'm a business strategy mentor. I legitimately took out the word strategist because I found out a lot of people actually have a hard time saying that out loud. And sometimes it even gets muffed in the podcast. So, boom, simplicity. And that's actually what I help you do. I help you make your business simpler while also making it more fun, because that's what I'm all about. Fun. I refuse to do anything that's not fun. I won't even do the dishes. That's not fun to me, so I won't do them. Just nickname me Cardi B because I still got this ring. Just kidding. So, today's episode it's just a fun one, really, if I'm being honest here. Because if you couldn't tell by the title, holy shit, I'm turning 30. This is freaking huge. Oh my God. And I wasn't even actually planning on doing an episode today because I ended up taking the entire month of November off to work on my December project, which I'm so excited for you guys to see. But then I really missed everyone. And we're a week away from my 30th birthday. So what better way to celebrate turning 30 than with my people? So, okay, let's chat. First of all, I decided that turning 30 means I want to grow up and become a wino. So if you have wine recommendations, send them to me. Shoot me a DM or tag me on Instagram at Kristen Unfiltered. I tend to love sweet wines, but I'm absolutely willing to branch out. We actually scheduled a fun wine tasting at the Linganore Winery in Mount Airy, Maryland, the day before my birthday. We're going to do a mixed wine tasting, so we'll do both dry and sweet wines. Oh, and we got a charcuterie board, because why not? I'm a millennial. I loved Lunchables, so I feel like it's necessary. And you know what? I never even really saw myself at 30 years old. And I really never expected it to look like this. I have a divorce under my belt. I'm in my second marriage. I live in a house full of guys. It's my husband and our two best friends. And then you throw in that we have 2 dogs and 2 cats. Our house is absolutely insane and full of laughter at all times. And I don't know if I'd have it any other way, honestly. Anyone who legitimately has been in our house for really any longer than 10 minutes has seen it, and I think they always get a good laugh at the craziness that happens here. I own my own business. I'm free to work anywhere I want. I can pack up and go, travel to other countries, and do as I please. And I have. I've worked from Mexico and Aruba, and that's really cool to me. That's something I never thought I would do. I always pictured myself in that corporate marketing life because that's what I went to school for originally, was marketing. And When I first moved to Maryland, I ended up interviewing at, several marketing agencies. And I actually ended up turning a lot of the jobs down because I just didn't feel right working with them. And I started lifting weights. Better yet, I started powerlifting. And I'm stronger than I've ever been. I actually started it as a way to keep myself from ever being in a situation where I felt threatened as a woman. Because I've obviously been in plenty. It's kind of natural for a woman in general, which is really sad to say. But at the same time, it's kind of nice to be able to say that I'm doing something about it, I guess. But after my divorce, I guaranteed myself that I'd be the strongest woman at the room at almost all times. And I'm achieving that. And then there's the crappier side. I'm a child trauma survivor. I'm a domestic abuse survivor. I'm diagnosed with PTSD, chronic migraines, and so many other health issues that took forever to get diagnosed. I've lost multiple family members. I've lost my mom, which, considering I don't really have a relationship with my biological father, meant I was essentially parentless, and that hit really hard. But you know what's cool? I created my own reality. I became this strong woman who's capable of running a business and helping others create success in their businesses. My goal was to help others not solely rely on one income if they were unable to work outside of the home, or if they didn't want to work outside of the home, like I didn't. And I've been able to successfully do that. And I intend to help so many more people in the next year. I'm actually going to do a mini-series on Instagram with 30 things I learned before turning 30, and I'm so excited about it. Every day, I'm going to drop 5 things about life, business, and everything in between. So be sure to go check it out at Kristen Unfiltered. But I think one of the biggest things I learned is that you're allowed to be you. You're not required to conform to anyone's opinions of you. You're not required to conform to society's opinions of who someone like you should be. And for me, that was getting rid of my shit brown hair. And I'm not kidding when I say shit brown. It is legitimately, really close to being like a poo brown color. It was dyeing my hair hot neon pink. It was covering myself in tattoos. Even though my mom called me after every single one and gave me a lecture. She, no joke, cried when I first came home with my very, very first tattoo. She looked at it, and it's on my spine. So she looked at it and just cried her eyes out. And I will never forget that day. It was on my 18th birthday. And it was getting my nose pierced, even though I'd always been told, but you'll have a hole in your face. And then it was getting my septum pierced. It was drinking craft beer when I came from a Bud Light house. I really discovered myself in the past couple of years, and that's really what matters to me most. It was all about validating who I am, who I really am. Not who I think I should be based on where I came from or where I live now. And holy shit, I'm turning 30, y'all. These past 30 years have been nothing short of a wild ride. And I fully expect the next 30 to be really nothing less than a wild ride either. So here's to more tattoos, more pink hair, and some new wine. If you want to, you can send me a birthday shout out on December 6th. Tag me on Instagram at Kristen Unfiltered. I'll share it in my stories, I'll absolutely tag you, and I will thank you from the bottom of my heart because that is the coolest thing ever. Check out today's show notes on the blog kristencubic.com/astoldunfiltered, and thanks for joining me for another episode of As Told Unfiltered. See ya! Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I just wanted to let you know that all of the listeners for As Told Unfiltered get a special offer, especially if you listen to the end because you're amazing. $100 off my signature digital course automation queen to sales machine that's going to help you streamline and automate your business so that you can spend less time making more sales. Use code unfiltered. Go to kristenkubick.com/astoldunfiltered for more information. See ya.